Amar Singh, Head Advisor of Angel Broking, is joining in now. Amar, what are you feeling about the markets? We did see a sharp pullback in yesterday's day of trade, but there are some events that we are watching out for. Do you think yesterday's strength was probably just another exit opportunity for bulls who've been invested in the markets?
A very good morning to you. What we saw yesterday, and also if you look at day before yesterday, the low that was made for Nifty at 10,033 odd levels, clearly reflecting that the 10,000 psychological support level is what the market is definitely looking at. And also technically on the charts, what we are seeing is that on the daily charts, Nifty is in oversold territory. So that also is one of the reasons. So we are witnessing some short covering in the market because on the weekly charts the trend has somewhat lost its steam. So any upside rally towards in the short term 10,250 to 270, that's going to meet with resistance on the upside, and further on 10,400 to 420, that's a level of resistance. So what we see is that the market could go in for some consolidation, and as you rightly said, there are some key events that are likely to happen, majorly being the Gujarat elections. The outcome of that, markets are keenly awaiting, and also with the Christmas festive coming in the last week of December. So we will see some, I would say, quietness in the market. So overall, I see that this 10,000 has to act as a strong psychological support, but the markets could remain choppy or sideways for at least a couple of weeks.
Right. Amar, very quickly, we have to slip into a break, but fundamentally, what is going on with these gas counters? Do they look like compelling buy calls for the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, overall, if you look at these gas companies, and also the way we have seen some real sharp up moves on the charts, in spite of we've seen some correction in the broad-based market, clearly reflects that yes, there is a lot of steam left in these gas companies. If you look at GAIL, the way the GAIL has rallied, and even if you look at the chart on the charts, technically speaking, they are very strong. So any pullback should be used as a buying opportunity. But what I would suggest is that caution definitely should be in place, because when we see extreme volatility, then the market generally tends to play out on both sides. So stop losses do get triggered in such markets. So I would suggest that any pullback, say for example, GAIL is there, the way we've seen the rally, it's breaking its multi-year highs. So any pullback towards 475, 480 again can be a buying opportunity with the stop loss below 460 and targeting 515 to 520 on the upside.
Right. How do you feel about Reliance Industries?
Yeah, overall, what is seen in Reliance Industries is that it's on the charts. Definitely, it's in overbought territory. So clearly reflecting that on the upside, 945, 950. That's the level of resistance for Reliance Industries. The trend remains strong and overall positive, but we are seeing some loss in momentum of the trend. Long-term and medium-term, yes, the trend remains positive, but short-term trend, we are seeing choppy trading sessions. So I would say on the downside, immediate support somewhere around 895, 900, that's on the downside, and upside seems to be capped around 945, 950. So there could be a range play in Reliance Industries in the short term.
Right, so that's the view on RIL. Of course, Ashish is a buy call, but you've got Amar who believes that the stock is in overbought territory. Amar, what about you? How strong is Maruti looking? It's had a few brokerage upgrades as well, so fundamentally as well, there's some support coming in. Would Maruti be a trade for you?
No, I would say the way Maruti witnessed a rally yesterday, I would suggest that we could see some a high amount of volatility. So I would want that the stock should a buying opportunity could be around 88, 20, 88, 30 level. So it's trading significantly higher, almost 120 points higher from that level. So I would suggest that any pullback should be used as a buying opportunity, not to simply run after the stock just because it has rallied yesterday.
Right. Amar, what are your top stock recommendations for the day?
Yeah, the first stock recommendation is on Colgate-Palmolive. What we're seeing in Colgate-Palmolive is that overall there is a positive technical structure, and the trend also remains positive and strong for Colgate-Palmolive. So any pullback towards 1,040 can be used as a buying opportunity with a stop loss of 1,019 and a target of 1,084. The next stock to look at is DLF. What we are seeing in DLF is that DLF has been sustaining well and technically is strong across different time frames, and also there has been a breakout. So any pullback towards 235 can be used as a buying opportunity with a stop loss of 228 and a target of 249. The next stock to look at is Godrej Industries. What we're seeing in Godrej Industries is that it's positive on the charts. Weekly, yes, weekly it's an oversold territory. There is a breakout. So any pullback towards 575 can be used as a buying opportunity with a stop loss of 568 and a target of 593. And the last stock to look at is ICICI Prudential. What we are seeing is that technically the stock has some upside, so one can buy around 368 levels with a stop loss of 362 and a target of 383.
Right, that's the view coming in on some of those recommendations from Amar. But Amar, what have you made of this morning's opening? Anything that you've identified in the last 2 to 3 minutes?
Yeah, overall the way the markets have opened up and Nifty sustaining above the 10,200 levels, that clearly shows that there is some buying interest which is carried on from yesterday. And the stock to look at is, again, I would say one of the stock is Bharti Airtel. We did see a sharp rally yesterday, currently it's around 520 levels or so. So any pullback towards 514, 515 can be used as a buying opportunity with a stop loss below 510 and a target of 532, 32 in the short term.
Right. Amar, Shriram EPC, do you track this one? 18% on the screen right now on the stock.
Actually, I don't look at the stock, so but I'll just pull it up and I'll tell you what exactly is happening. The stock definitely, what you're seeing on the weekly charts, and that it has formed a bottom somewhere around. Earlier, it had made a low of close to 20, and it's currently trading around 24 or so. So it's, I would say that. It definitely on the monthly charts also, it had been in oversold territory for quite long, and even on weekly charts. So somewhere or the other, the stock had to bounce back. But I would suggest is that this is a very erratic moving stock. So rather stay away for the stock, because the move that has happened today, we'll have to watch out whether this sustains or not.
Right, that's Shriram EPC. The stock is on a breakout as we speak right now. Well, Amar, you want to come on this counter on future consumers? How is this one looking?
Yeah, overall, what we've seen in future consumers is that the stock has, if you look at the last 1 year performance from almost, it's more than trebled, and technically it's strong definitely on the charts. But what we're seeing on the weekly charts, that there has been consolidation. And it's September high of 69.75, 70 levels. Again, in October, it tried to retest those highs somewhere around 70 levels, 68, 69. So clearly reflecting that the upside seems to be capped around 69, 70 levels. Yes, if that level is taken out, then we are in for some real sharp up move in the stock. Otherwise, the stock could consolidate in the range of 60 to 70. That's the range that I see till the time we don't see a breakout above the 70 levels.
Right, that's the view on future consumers. Amar, what is the view on SAIL? 3.5%, and large for the gains have come in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, overall, looking at SAIL, we did witness some correction towards 76 odd levels or so, but technically it's very strong on the charts. If I look at the long-term chart, on the monthly charts, on the weekly charts, and the daily charts, yes, they represent that clearly there could be some consolidation. But overall, any dip should be used as a buying opportunity, because the market has a very strong support coming in around 76, 77 levels for SAIL. On the upside, what we are seeing is that towards 82, 83, that's the first level of resistance. But once that is taken out, then it's headed higher towards almost 88, 90 levels.
Amar, anything in the cement space that you currently like? Because, I mean, we saw the likes of Dalmia doing a big up move a few days ago, but then that got stalled in the sell-off we saw in the last 8 days. Anything in cement that looks like a good positional trade?
Yeah, overall, looking in the cement space, what we've seen is that ACC has been consolidating consistently from almost 1670 levels to currently trade around 1700, 1710 levels. So that is one stock which is looking good on the daily charts, and on the long-term charts, the stock holds definitely in a positive trend, and also the downside seems to be limited. So any dip towards 1690, 1700 levels can be a buying opportunity with a stop loss below 1670 and a target somewhere around 1750 levels for ACC.
Right. What about you, Amar? Anything in this space that's looking good on the charts?
I would say that ITC looks good on the charts because we've seen some sharp correction in ITC, because this is one stock which has really not performed if you look at the overall markets, and the downside definitely seems to be limited now to because currently it's trading around 254, 55 levels, and it's taken crucial support around 250 odd levels because on the long-term charts it does have some crucial support coming around 248, 250. So I think from a short-term perspective that can be used as a buying opportunity because the downside seems to be limited. On the upside, I would say 265, 270 immediate target could be for ITC.
Right. Thanks for that, Sanjeev, Ashish, and Amar for joining in this morning. That's looking like a good start, and I guess all the stock picks that we identified at early this morning have worked out, at least in terms of the likes of a Tata Elxsi, a Dabur, and Arvind, Mindtree. These are some of the buy calls being put out in today's morning trade. Well, the